Okay, hello everyone. I am so excited to have you guys here. This is our first Dragon Vortex call, and so I'm obviously recording this because there's a whole bunch of people who couldn't make tonight, but I'm really excited to have you guys here, and it's just, yeah, it's just so amazing. So I thought we'd just do a quick drop in just to get everyone settled into the space. And then I'm going to just talk a little bit more about the group and the ideas that I have behind this. And then we'll go and do a little journey with the dragons who came to talk to me last night. So, okay, perfect. So I'm going to ask you to just take a moment, just bring yourself into the room. Let's take a few deep breaths in. If you want to place your hand on your heart, you're welcome to. And we just allow ourselves to drop into this beautiful space. As I start to call in all of the guides that need to be here with us today, all of the energies, the beautiful dragons, and just allowing ourselves to say goodbye to today, to all of the hecticness. The next hour here with me, you just get to play, to be, and to experience all of the magic together. And as I'm also just calling in this beautiful energy of peace here with us, knowing that we are all together here, sharing a beautiful sacred space that we are busy cultivating and creating as a community now going forward. And I'm so blessed to have you all here tonight to start this. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Right. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So I am Yolandi, for those of you who don't know me. I think I do know most people here. A lot of you guys were just recently on the Dragon course as well. And because it was so much fun to hang out together and talk about dragons all the time, I was kind of inspired by that whole community that we were forming. And then I was thinking, well, it would be really nice to get more people involved because not everyone's doing the course. And then more of us can talk about dragons and more of us can start to journey together. And it just felt like a really, yeah, it felt like a bit of a calling. So when I actually came up with the idea, so I'm really into human design, and I even pulled a little human design chart for for the idea of the vortex, and it was all about community. So I was like, oh my goodness, this idea has literally got a consciousness of its own where it wants to get people together to talk about dragons and energy and all that good stuff. So thanks, Flo. I'm lucky too because you guys are so much fun to work with and to explore with. So yeah, so that's how the idea came into play. And then I thought to myself, because the best way for us to get to know each other is to basically be in a room together, as I saw in the course as well. It was so lovely to have everyone together, people sharing their experiences, people sharing what was easy, people sharing what was hard and what wasn't so easy about working with these energies. So it just felt like a really real space where you could just be like, oh my God, I'm not getting this. I don't know how to do this. Or, wow, this has happened. Or I'm seeing these things and I don't understand. And it's always so nice when we share our experiences because everyone learns from everyone. And that for me was really vital because this isn't just a space where people get to learn from me, but this is a space where we get to learn from each other because I learned so many things from the people on my course as well. So I was like, this felt really good. And for me, this is just the beginning of weaving things together and us all basically growing this community. So this isn't just my space, even though I will be leading the journeys, but this is also your space to bring questions and how does this work? Or what can we do? Or maybe I saw this and what is this? And we can all explore and play together. And that's what I want to do. So once a month, we will get together in a room like this for an hour, hour and a half, and you get to share, and I will ask the guides basically to come through, and I'll do a little bit at the end. But this is really a place where I want to start to explore and really communicate but the one thing we all have in common, and it's a connection to dragons. Okay, so yeah, so for me, it's really important that we get into that space of understanding that there's nothing weird about this. Because one thing that really broke my heart was when the first time we get into the room together, and it was like people were like, yeah, but there must be something wrong with me. Why am I seeing this? Why am I feeling this? And it's just like, can we just normalize the fact that there are different energies out there that we can work with and that we can play with and that we can explore, and that, you know, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not some kind of weirdo mental case. Like, there's really, like, things are happening and we are feeling things and things are coming up and people are seeing things, and it's just, I just want to normalize this work, basically. So that's a real big driver for me behind all of this. So yeah, so this is really a space to share. And I wanted to start tonight just to invite you. There's absolutely no like um like obligation to share, but if you do feel like you want to ask some questions or bring some things in, then you are more than welcome. So I'm opening the floor to anyone who wants to ask something or say something about their recent experiences, and just to please feel free to share with us here in the group. Okay, so I'm watching Andrea going, Can I invite you to share something, babe? Because we've had such a beautiful experience with you singing to us in the group before and all of that. So if you fancy sharing something.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, uh this time after the course has been just for integration has been really life changing in ways in regards to the life force energy that's really activated inside of me. Um, Lots of creative energy. Gosh, I don't even. I'm connecting with my dragons every day, every single day. I have my dragon cards that I pulled. Yeah, that I pull every day. I have a water dragon that I pulled, and also a crystal yellow dragon card. And I'm feeling them calling me. I'm feeling them calling me to different lands. I feel them in my creative space, and I feel more comfortable talking about it actually. Where before I felt kind of nervous that someone would think I was a weirdo.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. But I also recognize that the weirdo or the that's I really like that. That's like authentically me. That's I prefer that connection to this energy, this ancient energy. I feel my ancestors are like pushing me, like, yes, go, yes, you're on the right track. Keep going, keep digging, keep connecting with us. This is what you've been waiting for. This is the last little bit that I've been wanting to connect to. So I appreciate this. I'm so excited today to connect to the ancestor dragons, and yeah, lots of songs. I'm working on that. I have a whole like EP prepared just for the dragons, just for
Oh my God, Andrea. Whoa.
yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
love it. It's been wonderful, and my kids, they all are. I want to pick a dragon card. They're all about the dragons. They love them. They love it. They want to know more, and so we call on them. We call on them during our meditation. I homeschool my kids, so I I told my partner, I said, this is an important part of homeschooling. It's not just about math and words and reading and writing, but how to get them to connect with their breath, how to connect with the energies that live inside of them and around them. So it's been lovely. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, wow. And I just love that because today, it was so interesting because I was like, you guys know if you've worked with me before, I don't always know what I'm going to be doing. And I was just like this whole week, I'm like, come on, dudes, like it's almost Thursday. You need to tell me what we're doing. So last night when I went to bed, I'm like, okay, really, like this is like it's less than like 24 hours to go. Can we just have some idea of what's going to happen? So I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning and I was like busy seeing the dragons, and they took me back to my own ancestral lands, which I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about. But it was like they were busy reminding me of the connection of my ancient ancestors to certain lands and how they can help me to connect back to the magic of my ancient ancestors. And so, like you speaking about your ancestors now, so this is another avenue. So, with the dragons, for me, it's always about there's so many ways of working with them. And this is one of the ways that they want to show us. So I feel like every month they'll probably come through and go, well, you guys can try this or you can do that now. Like, so it feels like that's what the energy is going to be about. And I'm really interested to see because they were showing me these things and working in my bones and stuff. And I'm like, ooh, okay, this is interesting. So we'll see what they do tonight in our journey together. But I just feel like, when we were looking at the elemental dragons, when we started working with the earth dragons, it was very much about the life force energy of this planet, how it feels, like how we can utilize it. But now there's like still so much more that we can learn. And so this space is really for exploration with the different dragon energies, like the ancestor stuff. I've never even thought about that. So when that happened today, I was like, oh my God, that is so cool. I'm so excited about this because what are we going to get today? What are we going to see? So it feels really yummy. Yeah, so can't wait. Okay, cool. Louise, you put your camera on. Hello. Are you going to introduce yourself?
Why? Yeah, I yeah, I'm just again, I'm Lamise, I've done the course before this, and again, I'm just here to kind of further reinforce all that was learned on the course, and just to really kind of consolidate this energy and what it means for me during this journey. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I was sitting here just a minute ago and going, "Oh, I've got my blankie on my feet, and it's got mushrooms in there, and also my cat died yesterday. Bless him. Yesterday, Tuesday, sorry, and um, and I was kind of like, why are they? Like, who are the dragons of the underground, and what who this is kind of like, oh, why am I feeling like all the things that go unseen, that's who I'm kind of thinking I need to connect with right now. I don't know, that just literally came to me as I sat down, because I sat down in a flurry, hence why I didn't have my camera on, and I was like, ooh, that feels interesting. So um and maybe I'm thinking further than that, like, about the dragon, ancestral dragons. um our ancestors were buried, some of them cremated, everything goes back down to the ground. Like, okay, maybe there's something to do with ancestral underground kind of something. Okay.
Shit,
you know
yes, because I'm like, oh my God, my brain's going, the bones of your ancestors are in the land, right? Like, and so the bones carry the memories and the wisdom and everything. So our bones is like when it's buried in the land, it stays there. And the bones are the
yeah,
only thing that doesn't decay, right? So that signature, that memory, like that stays there. So when I started playing in the Akashic Records many years ago, like when I held the bone, I could read the bones and think about like how our ancestors read the bones as well, right? So
mm,
the bones carry the memories and the history. And what if the
yeah.
dragons can help us to connect back to the bones as well,
Yeah,
right?
and what if, like, the whole, I've got a thing of fixation on the fungi and
Yeah.
all the things that come up from under the ground. What if that's bringing back that information from the underground dragons and big it up? I'll show you my little blankie here. See the little mushrooms, my little autumn mushrooms.
Okay,
So
so I'm
yeah, okay,
loving this because I'm
okay,
thinking
cool.
also like the mycelium network, right? It is the oldest network of living things here on the planet, right? Like it's like, I mean, it started 2.5 billion years ago under the sea, and then 1.5 billion years ago, it like came onto the land as well. So our most ancient rememberings is through the mycelium network, which is the mushroom network. So that's really cool. So yeah, so that is there. So,
Okay,
okay. I'm
that's
excited
cool.
now because now I'm like, what the hell are they going to tell us tonight? So this is very cool.
Underground dragons. Whoop.
Okay,
Cool.
fantastic. So you
Thanks.
hold on to your blankie because who knows where we're going to go. Okay, fantastic. Okay, Toma, you just put yours on.
Hi, Yolandi. It's
Hi,
been a
darling.
little while. Oh, I missed you all. Such a pleasure to join all of you today. Well, and I can't thank you from the bottom of my heart that you're doing this and that we're experiencing this community, dragon community, thing. So I guess it's been a really weird time since we last met, and it's been sort of like nothing's happening, but I don't view it in a bad way. It's sort of like I feel like in between life phases or in between chapters, like when you're reading a book, it's like where you're ending one chapter, the other one hasn't started. It's like sort of very in between blah zone. But lately it's been feeling really comfortable, like being held, like sort of like being in the womb stage where it's like, well, it's not yet to be born yet. It's like it's not yet time for action. It's time of reintegration and just pulling all the knowledge and all the love back into you, because sometimes there's a time for action and sometimes there's a time for receiving and just being. So I'm really enjoying this being right now. And so it kind of felt like chaotic before, and like, oh, why not, everything was a why. And now it's just like, that's okay, it's just like a normal stage of life. um so like right before we started connecting today, I sort of received the image, and I do receive this image um often enough, like when I do go through changes in my life, of this like a cave, but like not a yucky dirty cave, sort of where my ancestors are there with me, like my, like, let's say a mother, though she's still living, but like an ancestral mother and an ancestral grandmother figure. And I sense like a dragon, like you said, like an ancestral dragon. And they're like, is anything happening there in the cave? No, but you're being held. Your mother's holding you, your grandmother's holding you. Like there's such a presence of being together. Is anything physically happening? No. But in the heart and the soul is like, yes, everything in the world is happening. So I don't have the words to describe this beingness, the becomingness, the opening of the rose petals. I don't know what to say to that, but just I don't know. It's just so bittersweet. It's like it hurts and it's so beautiful at the same time. Kind of like that.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, I think that sounds amazing to me because it is that, when we get to that phase in our journey where we're okay with being, and I think so many of us strive to be okay with being because we are doing people, right? Like we're always doing life, doing things. But now, like when we get to that place where we're just being, like there's a learning there that it's almost like we are needing to learn to be because we
Mhm.
don't know how to be anymore. And in the being is the magic, and that's where the cosmic void is, and that's where all of the stuff starts to get together. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think it's like
Um,
it's special and it's like a
yeah.
really amazing space to be in. So I'm just gonna say that.
Mm. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Cool. Um, Claire, anything you'd like to share? Oh, let me help you out. See if that works.
I haven't been a big dragon lady. My friends have. Um, yesterday, my home is Cardiff and I live in Bristol, so there's the Bristol Channel between us. And yesterday, when I was on the beach with my granddaughter, I looked across the estuary and I went, oh, thank you for my home, Cardiff. Thank you for Wales. I haven't always appreciated you. And it's the only country that you can drive in that has a big red dragon and it says, welcome to Wales. And I've worked with dragons once in a meditation that I led when there was an earthquake in Turkey, and I didn't know there was an earthquake. And this lady came to me with her hands out in my meditation, and on a mound of earth. And I thought, oh, you need help, and it was, we need help. So I rallied some friends, and we did a meditation online. And I have not worked with the dragons, but I asked my dragons to come in and to work and to do the front line devouring all the negativity and the shock and trauma. And we had such a magnificent, peaceful, beautiful experience. It was incredible. So for me, it's about, working with my dragons more. That's why I'm here for. Yeah. So thank you.
Oh, I love that. And that's the thing, right? Like for me, it's always like sometimes you don't really know what you're doing when you're like going, and then you start working with these energies and you experience it and you feel like there's so much there's so much that's happening, and like I don't want to say like there's a power in it, right? There's like a clearing, a cleansing, a taking away and bringing back as well. And I think, then because we don't really know, we don't have a foundation or we don't understand, then we go, okay, well, that was a once off, that's nice. But actually, like if we cultivate that relationship and like start to call them in consciously and ask them consciously, like what would you experience? So if you, for instance, would go back to the beach tomorrow and like call in the dragons of Wales, for instance, like what would they reveal to you, right? Like if that is your lands and stuff. So I mean, like this is the thing that I really want to emphasize when we're on these calls, is that like there's so much that we can learn and explore, and this is our opportunity to do that. Okay, so now you're in a space where other people are exploring as well. So take the next month until we meet again, go play, and then come back and go, well, guess what? I found this, or maybe I didn't like understand this or whatever. But if we are brave enough to go and explore, what will we find? And how can we change our relationship with them? Okay. I love that. Okay. Anyone else? Amanda, you put your camera back on.
I had to find the unmute button. Most of the elemental dragons have been quiet, apart from the water dragon, who I think comes for a walk with me every single day when I walk my dog, because I walk down past the river. So she's always around, which is really nice. And I have been doing Reiki for free, so giving back. At the clairvoyance evening I go to on a Monday evening, and I'm one of the healers that goes down. And I was doing healing on a friend of mine, and she turned to me, she goes, "Oh my God, a blue dragon has just come and sat next to me." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." I just opened her third eye because it closed. And then she turned around to me later on and goes, there was a red dragon there." And I was like, "You're so lucky you get to see them. I can feel them, but I don't get to see them." So I'm sat going, I'm really jealous. But I was really glad. And then I was reading something with Reiki and dragons the other day, and someone had turned around and said that I can't think of his name now. Dr. Usai, Reiki appears as a red dragon. And I was like, oh. And I read that after I'd done it, and I was like, oh, okay, so that would be kind of cool if it was, because it wasn't the fire dragon, it was just a red dragon that I had felt the presence of. And she turned around to me, she goes, "A red dragon." I was like, cool. And then this came up as I was going through and looking at things, so I was quite fascinated by that, because
I didn't know that. Like that's the first time I've ever heard that. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times. I found it once, and then I've
Yeah.
seen it a couple of other times.
Ooh.
But for love nor money, I can't find it again because I was like, oh, I'll bring that up when we meet, and I'm
Yeah.
sure it will just turn up. The next time it turns up, I will screenshot it and I'll share it with everybody. But yeah, it's been quite cool because I know my dragons come in, and when I do Reiki, I can feel the dragon energy comes through because everyone who's had Reiki has said your hands get exceptionally hot, and I was like, yeah, I know, and I have to sometimes. I'm like, can we just back up a smidge because my hands are burning, and I know it's not just me, it's their energies and that. But yeah, it's been nice, but they've been a lot of them I felt have been quiet, but I always feel my water dragon when I go out walking, which I thoroughly enjoy.
And I just want to reiterate again, just because we're not seeing them doesn't mean that they're not there.
No.
And I will keep saying that until I'm blue in the face.
Yeah.
Because knowing is way more powerful than seeing, in my opinion. And we know this. You know how I feel about this. So that's beautiful, darling. So I love it.
That
Cool.
was my 2 pennies.
Thanks for your 2 pennies. We'll put them in the pot. Okay. Anyone else want to share? I don't know, Charmaine or Floor, anyone else want to just have a little go?
I'll have a quick little go.
2 pennies in.
Yeah. So I'm still going through the journey. And after we were in Glastonbury, I did the air activation. And so much is coming up, and it's been with all of them. Something different has come up, whether that's fire, water, earth, or air. And I feel myself going through this transformational stage, but it's kind of the backwards and forwards, and there's still the conflict, and there's still letting go of things and feeling my way through it and trying to understand it. And it can be difficult sometimes. But it's through all of it, I do feel held. I feel very, I don't know, like, I can't remember the lady's name I mentioned. It's like being in a womb space.
Yes,
you know,
was Taiwan, yeah.
Thank you for saying that, because that's exactly how I felt the whole time. And I've also felt called to different lands very strongly. And I'm actually going to Egypt on the 18th of September on a pilgrimage. I know, and it kind of came, everything just happened so fast. I think that's the only thing I can say. It's been like I've had something behind me going, oh, you're doing this, you're going, and and here I am, and I'm going. And it's things have accelerated a lot, is what I would say. And sometimes it can be really scary, but all okay. So I've also a lot more creativity's come out as well, which has been good. So I'm able to express that and getting better at that, painting, singing, chanting, all of those things. So yeah, it's all good. It'll be interesting to see how things go as I do the source connection or the source activation. And I do feel the ancestral thing. There is that ancestral support. My ancestors are all the way behind me going, yes, 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 yes. I can feel that. Yeah, it's really good. Thank you. And
so what I'm going to say, if you go to Egypt, so what we're doing tonight, like just see like how you resonate with, like, I mean, I'm not sure exactly how they're going to connect us or whatever, but whatever comes through, like when you're in Egypt, play around a bit with calling them in when you're there and see what messages they give you, because you're being called to the lands for a reason. And I mean, it's very powerful land just as it is, but like what would happen if you connected with their energy in that environment and called them in and asked the dragons of that land to come through and say to you what they need to tell you, for instance. So, because I mean, who knows? There might be some messages that's directly linked to what you're needing to learn there. And it's not that I'm saying don't work with the elemental dragons there, because we're always working with them, right? Because we're from Earth. But sometimes it's really nice to kind of drop into the land and see what do they want to tell us, you know, because every land has its own dragons, just like we have our own dragons in the UK or in like certain, wherever you are, right? Like it's just like
Yeah.
the land has the dragons as well. The sacred sites, the temples hold dragon energy. So every place has got a guardian and they are often dragons. So, you know, who knows?
Okay.
The mountains, whatever. So just play around and do report back when you return.
I will do, because we're going to spend a night on Mount Sinai. So yeah, I think it'll be quite powerful.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's making me feel like, yeah. And I was just reading some stuff about that literally before this call. So I'm like, okay, there's
Okay.
definitely energies in that land that wants to talk.
Yeah.
So that's, I was literally like at 5 o'clock, I was on my phone, there was an article. I'm like, why am I reading this? This is
How
interesting.
interesting.
Okay. So yeah, there's something there,
Okay.
Bo. Oh, I can't wait. Andrea, yes.
We're speaking of lands, and it reminded me, I read something and I'm being called not only to the UK, but also to Ireland. And I didn't know if you know the dragons there or anything, but I'm being called. Yeah, big time to Cork, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay, so and that's on the other side of the country. So, I mean, my only thing with Ireland at the moment is I have to go to Newgrange to go and look at the spirals there. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but that will be soon. But I haven't worked with the energies of the land there, so I don't really have any
Mm,
insights in it. Like, I mean, but yeah, if anyone else maybe has some inklings of it.
okay.
But I haven't actually, like Newgrange is the only place currently calling me, but you know, there's, I mean, we have like the first people as well. Sorry, I'm just thinking now. So Scota, who was the daughter of Akhenaten, who was an Egyptian pharaoh, she went to Ireland and she's buried there, and she took Egyptian culture to Ireland. So there's a connection between Egypt and Ireland that I know of, and there's books written about it, and there's like archaeological evidence that the Egyptians were also here in the south of England where we live. So there's an Egyptian Irish connection, I can tell you, but I haven't looked into the dragon connection there yet. So,
Hmm. Yeah, that's been calling me. So,
okay.
and yeah, yeah.
Louise?
It's interesting because Ireland, whenever I think of it, it's always so rich in music. So and you're a very musical person. And it's really interesting as well because my great grandparents, I have one who was a nomad that came from that sort of the Egypt that area, came down and he married a fair-skinned Irish woman. So I don't know why, just kind of like I don't know. I feel like I need to say that because of what you've just said, Jolly, and then also the whole Irish connection to the music. So there's definitely some weaving going on. Some mycelium, it's the network, but no. But yeah, I
And
don't
what
know.
I
Like
love is
just
like eventually we'll go, oh my God, now it all makes sense.
yeah, it's just making me go ping 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 in my brain. So yeah, so go maybe this it feels like there's a music connection there because Ireland's music is so rich. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
wowzers.
that definitely is like, I was like, when you said that, I'm like, yes, that feels good.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Okay. Right. Anyone else? I don't know, Flo, if you want to quickly drop something. Oh, Toma wants to also say something. Okay, so
A note for Andre. I don't know if that's the area that you were looking for in Ireland, but Hilatara, huge dragon connection. Ley lines, that whole sort of snaky
yes.
spiral structure. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
So this is a couple of years ago, and I just connected it. Like I wasn't there physically, but I just connected it, you know, mentally, if you will, astrally. and there's like a huge earth dragon that came up on that site, and like it was amazing. So I don't know if that's the area that you were referring to, but maybe that's one of the areas that calls to you.
Yeah, so Tara is closer to Dublin, so that's also by Newgrange. So the Hill of Tara, that's where
Oh,
they used to crown the kings of the
yeah,
country on that
yes,
hill
yeah.
as well. And so Cork's a bit on the other side, but like it's connected. Like there's some those ancient people who were there were all over, like
Right.
definitely. Okay, fabulous. Whew, nice. Okay, Flo.
So I live in Mexico City, a city that was built on top of pyramids everywhere. So I've been visiting all the pyramids I can to ask the land if they have messages for me, if there's anything I could do to help the land. Mostly they do receive the help because, well, the city is it's very damaged in terms of the energetic weave. And what I've noticed is, for instance, the guardians of each place. Some of them are very, when I see them, they look like Aztec figures. Some of them are more like in where there's the Guadalupe shrine, a very famous shrine here in Mexico devoted to a virgin, a Catholic virgin. It used to be a pyramid at one point, but the guardian of that place is a virgin, is a Catholic virgin. I don't know how to explain how that my brains makes those connections. But once I did a work in a place that's called Tlatelolco, and the guardian of that place, it was more ancient, like Lemurian or something. I don't know how to explain that, because that place suffered a terrible massacre in 1968. So I was kind of scared of going and asking the land, could I help you? Because little me, what can I do? But when I went into that pyramid, I didn't have to do the work because I was like transported to the past, and this Lemurian guide, well, they did the work, and I was just like there witnessing. So it's been quite an adventure. I don't have enough words to explain the things that I have seen and felt, but it's been a wonderful adventure.
Flo, I'm so coming to visit you. I want to go play in those pyramids with you. I'm like, it's going to be so amazing. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love that. And I'm just gonna say this is not actually, I'm just gonna make, because my brain's just gone bing. So before I went to Mexico in March, there I'd watched a program where a person was speaking about the Mayan temples, there being like Mayan connection to Egypt as well, and that they had found some Mayan inscriptions and like those hieroglyphs that you guys have there, that they'd found it inside structures within Egypt as well, and that they were actually showing some connection between Mexico and Egypt as well. So we keep coming back to that today. So I'm just going to say, because now my brain's going, there's another little thread in our little mycelium network. Everything seems to go back to Egypt today. So something happening here as well.
I was once in Egypt, and I stayed at a hotel next to the pyramids, and I was meditating there, and well, I also had an experience that was not dragon related. I didn't know that you had to meditate in a circle in a place that has so many energies floating around, right? Because I felt somebody hitting me on the stomach, and I kind of doubled down, and I heard swords and words in a language I didn't understand. And so that's when I learned that not because a place is sacred, does that mean that you can just go and have ceremony without protection. So once again, the circle, very important. I learned the lesson the hard way, but that's a side story. It was before I knew about the dragons.
Yes. And so important. So you'll always keep the circle there. Okay, great. So, anyone else want to share anything before we start playing around and just seeing what they say? Claire. See if I can help you there.
Am I muted?
Yes, you're there. Yippee.
Yeah. So I'll just share. I went to Egypt a couple of years ago, and it was my first day, and I was in a bit of a muddle. Phone wasn't charged, money wasn't sorted. I'd moved room 3 times, and we walked down Karnak Temple, a massive complex for those that haven't been there. And as I was walking down, and Karnak Temple is filled with pillars, and I just stood there and I just had this really deep knowing that I'd been there before. The call for prayer came across the speakers, and with the sound came a television screen, and I saw everything change. I was obviously looking at the temple when it was in the days when it was active. My grandmother, both my grandmothers come from Ireland. And a few weeks back, I was thinking of moving to Ireland because I've been brought up in the Catholic faith, and I just knew, that there's been so much conflict and upset in Ireland, and yet there's so much magic and mysticism and beauty and spirit. So yeah, my friend took me to see Spirit of the Dance, and I'm there thinking, yes, Ireland was calling me. It's like, come back. So my grandmother was born in County Cork. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I love this. Okay, cool. So hopefully there's some little breadcrumbs for all of you guys to go do something with, because obviously we needed to have this little discussion today. So okay, beautiful. So let's have a little chat then about like the connection with like ancestors and dragons, and let's just see what they say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the circle so that they can start like talking, and then we'll journey together, and then like if you guys have any questions or anything afterwards, then we'll go there. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask that we all just settle down, take a deep breath in. And I'm just going to call upon the beautiful dragons now. So as I call upon my water dragon in the south, pulling that energy into our beautiful circle right now. Darashenda ikulusuru asana era iala ikuruwa shenda siki. And then as I turn to the fire dragons here in the east, Garashendo Soa, and I pull in that energy into the circle for us now. Mesonala ekoroho shewala seakera indakia karahinda hia. As I pull in the energy from the north, Andutatahi, the earth dragons, Guruanda Hiakalahe, in the circle with us today. Hiamana eroto watarahiakala indra hioku, ishonawa ekurawa. And as I turn to the west and I pull in the air dragons, Muswanala ira takiala indarahiaka, into the circle. Mutwatahiakera hiasin amatrakiake. And as I pull up the energy from the center of the planet, of our beautiful mother, and I connect with the golden dragon mother, Masinua Sehahiakulahiake, and we bring that energy up through all of the layers of the earth. Godua Tatahi, through the water, through the fire, through the air, through the rocks and the crystals, and the layers upon layer. And we bring that energy right into our circle to hold us all at the bottom of this beautiful circle. And as I place all of the beautiful geometry that needs to be in the floor of our circle today, and allow that to settle. And I ask for divine protection for our time here together with these beautiful energies. And I ask that all that come through today is for the highest good of everyone here and all of those who will be joining us in the recording as well. Masila shewara tahiande andakireya lahihoko. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, all right. So when I started asking last night about the energies of the ancestors in the land, and I was taken back to my own experience of being in Like when I was young, I had this real need to learn to speak German, and I had this real need to learn to communicate in this language, and I was obsessed with everything German. And it was so interesting for me because I was just like, why is this? And when I was 18 and I left school, I went to go live in Germany for a year. And then I was just like, okay, that's like strange. I don't know why. And then I did a DNA test a few years ago, and I realized that my ancestors are actually massive chunk of my DNA is from those lands. And something inside me at the age of like, well, how old was I? I think it was like 14 or 13 when I decided I needed to speak German. My parents were like, why is this so important? I'm like, I don't know, but I have to speak German. And like, so I already knew back then that there was an energetic connection back to my ancestors. Now, for me as a South African, my ancestors left Europe in the 1700s. A bunch of them came over on boats and stuff. And then also some of my DNA is here from the UK, and this is the other place that I was drawn to come and settle as well. So it's very interesting for me how my body wants to go to where my ancestors are. So what I want you to do tonight is have a think, because I know a lot of you guys are obviously still in the places where your ancestors are from, and that's beautiful, but a lot of us have been moved from our ancestral lands. Okay, and then some of us have returned to our ancestral lands as well. But the thing here is that there's a part of you that is connected to a piece of land somewhere, an ancient piece of land. So for me, I look at it and I go, Germany, England, there's bits of me here because my blood is from here. My parents' blood, my parents' great grandparents are from these lands. So I want you to take a moment now, and I want you to feel into what feels right, because it might be that, say tonight for me, it's like, I want to connect with the dragons of England. I don't want to connect with the dragons of the, say, Germany today. But see what feels right, because often our DNA is also a big mix up. Like mine is a massive mix up of different countries. So feel within yourself right now what feels to be true for you tonight, what feels to be true for you for the land that your body is calling you to connect with tonight. Okay, because that energy that is calling you back, there are keys within you that is wanting unlocking, and the dragons can help us because we know that's what they do. They reflect back to us, they take us back to the energies, and they take us back to the unlocking energetically of what is needed within our energy field. Okay, so feel into what that feels like for you, which lands are those, and even if it is the land that you're living on right now, that's beautiful. But where there's maybe a part of that land. So it might not be where you're living right now, it might be to the south, it might be to the east, to the north, but just feel where is calling you right now and what wants to be there. And so what the dragons said to me last night is they said to me that very often, what happens is that these places that are calling us back, so it isn't just about ancestral healing, because that's such a big part of what we have been focusing on as people, but there's an ancestral magic that wants to come back now. And so tonight, what I want to focus on in our journey together as we connect with the land that you choose today, what is the ancestral magic that wants to come back? What did your great grandmother used to do on those lands? What was the thing that she was magical about? Did she sing to the land? Did she work with the land? Did she play with the land? What did she do with the land? Because inside of you, there is bits of you that needs to remember that, because there was a magic that they wove, every single one of our ancestors. There was a reverence that was held. There was a deep understanding, and that is in the land there. And that in the bones that is put into the land there, in those bones that we spoke about earlier on, what is there that we can connect with? Okay, so that's where we're going to journey to. So if you have found your place that you want to journey to tonight, then just lock that in. I want you to imagine that space now as we are in this circle together. I want you to feel into that energy of that place and just see your body there. See yourself sitting on the land over there. Dunuata ilahia kera isha nawatrahia kela henda hia ko. And I want you to become aware dunuata tahia ke of your body on the land. So as we sat here, feel what it feels like. Become aware of your own energy field, of your stream of energy starting to, just like a mycelium network, just like beautiful, beautiful, those little streams of energy from you into the land. And let it just seek its way deeper and deeper and deeper into the ground. So see yourself as this beautiful, beautiful, rooted being into that land, into that beautiful soil, into that remembering, into that deep knowing of that land, of where your people came from. Rotoro wala indra hia kura wala he shana sekuru watra hia kerahin. Alala hera mahia kura wata hia ke. And as the dragons had shown us before about the beautiful dragon lines that run through the earth, those beautiful, beautiful lines of energy. There are dragon lines in your ancestral lands, in those lands that you are visiting today. Duduanatahi, and I want you to see your roots going into those beautiful ancestral, beautiful ley lines, those dragon lines. Because those dragons of that land, they are woven into the land, and you get to be part of that right now. Warasina sekula shesoruatra na ina hiake. Andala hetra hia ba sekuruase kiana. Embotoata la hinda hia kola wawa hinda. Heshonwasahi. And feel that energy of the land moving up through these little roots into your body right now. Nduruata lahi, that light coming into your body. Matunuata tahi, going right into the center of your cells. Nutuala hiandera hisha, ikuruatra hinda hiako. Into the center of your cells, mutula wata hiande, bringing through matutuanata and unlocking anduluashana sekuruaseki. Hatai. Lo shene sukuru aseki la inda hiaka. And just allow that now to start to go through every single bit of your body. Start at your feet, move up through your legs. Kutuana tahi kiana la echa. All the way, every single bit of your body, your belly, all the way up through your torso, your arms. Tutunu tuatahiake, anatahi, see every little cell. And tutuatatahi, remembering, batunuata iake la ianda. Starting to activate natahiako, starting to fizz within you. Mutuanata ile ikiatatahi andetahi, and tutuatatahiaka. For all of that beauty, marotoanata iake la shana sekurohiake, that was brought malasenduata hiakenda, erotonuatata hiake, forth by the people of that land, motuanata hia, the magic that they carried within them. Unguala iaka, aseta hiaka nawatra hiaka, ishunutuatata hiake. Andualahi, and we activate that within you now. Anatawa, as we call forth those ancestors, Mutwanatahiake, to stand here with us, and Dutuatalahiake Rasinda Hiako, asking them, Dutuanatahiake, to hand to you tonight, Mutwala Iandetahiake, whatever it is that you might need to receive, Mutwalahiake, what you need right now to step forward and to move, and Duatalahiaka Nawara Iake, and graciously receive that message, Mutwanatahiake, with open arms, Mutwanatahiako, Alaiaka, Etronuatahiaka. Sana wutrehi latahiaka. Datahiaka. Sonuatahi. And feel that deep healing remembering Mutwanatahi. Yasokuroa. Because so often those ancestral lines, we just see them as dark places, but yet there's magic and there's light in those ancestors. And Dutuatahiaka. And we're putting our focus on the light right now. We're putting our focus on the magic, matatahi, and the beauty, ngua keke, that they are returning back into our field of consciousness right now. Atai ndayoko, ndale shahioko, and allow that thread, matunwatata, to become part of you. That beautiful, beautiful thread. Atatai ndayoko. It is activated in your cells, and that thread is part of you. Natotoeke. And so much reverence and so much love for those who have gone before us, those who have walked before us. Ndutua la ia kekena, asana sakuru siyatahi, hala wate natahi, sundoto. And knowing that these beautiful energies of these ancestors, Kutuna Tahi, as they step back into your field of remembering, Nguata Ingela Kukukiake, that they walk with you, Mutuna Tahiake, and as you are exchanging energies with them, Tutunuata Ta Ikeleanda, as you are co-creating with them, going forward, Mutuana Tahiaka, see this beautiful relationship, this community that is happening again, Kutuatatanahiki, of the ancient ancestors wanting to come and be part of what we are doing, part of what we are creating, part of how we are playing on this planet. Ualakena kurakia kuata iatatana watahiake. Anuatala indamahi ukurahi. Ashonuasake. Atahiaka. Because that, Natuta Tahiake, is where so much of our magic lies. Gutwana Tahiaka, in that ancient, ancient remembering of our blood. Matunu Tuata Tahiako. Chasekua Sekien la Amaketa, Hitunu Tuata Inda Hioto Waka, Indarahiakotana, Isanatahi. And those grandmothers, Matotuanatatahi, the wise ones, Lashonotohiaka. So much gratitude for all of them. Tunuatatendahiako. Naikielahi. Okay, beautiful. Sunotahiaka. So those dragon lines underneath, Matunuatatahiaka. I want you to become aware of them, because all the lines on the earth are connected. So no matter where you are physically sitting today, there's a bit of your energy that can go there. Always, always there. There's always a connection. As you stand, you're connected to everything. And this special connection back to that part, that land, that knowing, that wisdom that is available to you always. Ndudwa se ikiana. So allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to go back there. Duduanata. And there might be more ancestors calling you this month, so who knows where you might be journeying again. Duduanata hiake, and to which places and spaces. Mutwanata hiaka. So allow yourself to be open, Duduanata tahiake, to the messages that you might be receiving in your dreams now, Mutuana Tahiaka, that you might be receiving Tutuana Tahiaka through different signs, the Tanahiake, Halashanasa, And the voices on the wind, koala I mai o kona watare e tianata, e watatai ke ramuata inda hi o kola, waia kana matahi shanatokoa. Beautiful. Dondodo kahiaka. Okay, se tahin. Right. Okay, so I want you to just very carefully bring your energy back into your body right now. I want you to place your hands onto the earth right now where you have chosen to go tonight. And I want you to say a little thank you to those ancestors who lived there. A little thank you to the land for holding them, and for letting them be there, and for their connection to the land, because it would have been way different to our connections these days. And so send all of that love and appreciation into those beautiful dragon lines there, and thanking them for helping us to connect back to those who still love us so deeply, and those who are literally cheering us on, our biggest cheerleaders. Kutuana ta'i ki ana tau. And as we thank them for the magic, matalai kurua tala inda hiako. Beautiful. Masuna tahiaka. Right. So if you place your hands on your heart right now, and as we thank the beautiful dragons for holding us in this space tonight, Dua la inda hiokura hiokua sake, and dahiaka. So much gratitude for these energies, for your teachings, for helping us to explore and expand our connection with consciousness and with all that is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as I close this now, Donota Hiaka, the circle of journey, Misunawa, Ikurohe, Aleashe, Andarahe, Amakera, Alachotana Kyoko. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Janase. Slowly, slowly start to come back. Move yourself about. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And let me know you're still alive. And you're still here. Okay, beautiful. Okay. So I hope each of you got a little something that you needed tonight. I hope you felt a little something in there sparking back to life, some magic that needed to come your way today. And as you journey this month with the energies of those ancestors and those dragon lines from that place, just see what comes up, because it feels to me like we are. Oh, you ended up on a star, Amanda. Well, dude, I mean, I'm sorry, like that's also ancestors, right? Because some of us are from the stars, as we know, and we are starseed humans as well. So that's going really far back. I was kind of thinking like a few thousand years, but hey, you do you. And that's completely awesome, though, because it means like those ancestors, your star ancestors, want to speak to you. So I love that. So have fun with that. Oh my God. Okay, anyone else want to share something or like put up your hands? But Amanda, if you want to talk, you can as well, seeing that you were the first one.
That was the weirdest thing ever, to say the least. I thought I was going to be in Switzerland because I have ancestry in Switzerland, and I thought, okay, so I'm trying to imagine it, and then all of a sudden I was on a star. There was a star underneath me, and it was more of a white star than a yellow star. It was really surreal.
And did you get a name for this place?
No, I didn't get a name for this place. I was just like, oh, okay. But I thought I was going to Switzerland. But then I got drawn back to my gran. So and Switzerland was my grandfather. So I was like, okay, so maybe I need to go more down my gran's route rather than my grandfather's route. So yeah, it was quite surreal because I love to stand out and just look at the stars and the moon. And I was like, oh, so that's kind of cool. So now I'm going to have to go dig around in that one.
That sounds like so much fun. I can't wait to hear what you find. Epic. Okay, so Toma, you said you ended up in ancient New Zealand.
Yeah, so it was funny how you mentioned that when you were a young adult, and you kind of figured you were really crazy about anything German. Well, when I was that age, I'm like, if I could pick anything, what would I be? I immediately knew I wanted to be Irish. If I could pick a nationality, if you will, ancestry, Irish, Scottish, American Indian, Native Indian, and the fourth one is gonna be something I'll figure out as I grow up. And then later on in life, I'm like, I just really love Greece. Never been. Maybe I will go. I'm going to teach myself Greek. Who does that? Kind of like you, right? I'm going to teach myself some odd language. And I'm like, well, where will I go? Where will I end up? It's probably going to be one of those. Nope. New Zealand. Definitely my top one priority list where I want to go visit. But it wasn't like this now New Zealand that I would know, if you will, is like pre-Maori, probably, like more like Lemurian kind of style. And it was really weird and interesting because all I wanted to do is stand on the water's edge, and I had this like conch shell that I kept wanting to blow and communicate with the whales. And every time it's like, just leave me there. I want to be there in the water. And I kept being pulled back. No, you go back to your tribe. Cool, but I want to go back to the water. And so I think I kept wanting to go back to the water because that's my like comfortable spot. That's like my known spot. That's my strongest element. I'm like, no, go back there. Be part of a tribe. So I will explore that later.
Yes. Okay, I love that. And I'm also going to say, like, as you were speaking, like, I don't know if you've ever looked into Mu, but I mean, Mu's older than Lemuria as well. So, and for me, like the migration of the peoples of Mu, like onto those lands of New Zealand, Australia, all of that. So there's definitely something there. So that's beautiful. Okay, well, that's going to be fun. Amazing. Anyone else? Oh, it started raining. Oh, nice. Oh, Lemise, your hand's up. Cool. Go for it.
So it was a bit weird. Before we went into the meditation, oh, it's never weird, but anyway.
Like,
yeah,
we are.
Here we are. I felt before I went into the meditation, I felt like I was sitting on an what makes me think of, it's just difficult to figure out whether it's Japanese, Chinese, whatever, but I felt like I was sat on like an I Ching. What is like a, oh, I was told it was an I Ching, but it was like a coin. I felt like I was sitting on a huge coin. And like I could see all the sort of etch markings, and then I heard, oh, an I Ching. So that when we went into the meditation, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know where to go, I don't know where to go. But I just kind of went above everything. A bit like maybe I was on a kind of like a star, but I was above everything else, and I was probably on the I Ching. But then I had these routes to all of those places that we'd just spoken to. Like that, I went bit. I had like a long tendril to Ireland, and a long tendril to Egypt, and then another one to West Africa, which is what I'd been working from the other week. So then I was just there with all of those three, but also on this I Ching. I don't know anything about I Ching, but obviously I'm thinking I Ching, China, dragons, I don't know. But I don't, so that's kind of, I had a bit of a multi interest thing. And I was also given scrolls, but I was given scrolls to do with working with my hands. I don't know, but other than that, I was kind of in and out of knowing what was going on. But the I Ching was interesting because I don't know anything about that.
So I don't know much about that either, but I'm just gonna say when you said that, like I think is the gene keys not like based on that? Okay, Andrea's nodding her head.
Okay.
So I'm like so there's something there, and like also obviously the scrolls with the hands and they're like starting to do body work stuff that you're looking at and stuff. So like
Yeah.
there's obviously somewhere in your lineage someone who's done that, but there's something with the gene keys. When you said I did, like that's the first place my brain went. So
Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into it because again, I don't know anything
I've got
much
a book that I
what
can
you.
give you. Like
Yeah,
so
I
it is
remember I read something from one of your books before, but
Yeah.
other than that, I don't know much. So okay,
okay.
cool.
It's a nice little rabbit hole for you to go play in.
Yeah, that.
But I'm loving the scrolls. Like big fan of the scrolls. Like that sounds good.
Yeah, 3 scrolls.
Mm.
So okay, we'll go with that.
Read the scrolls. Okay.
Read the scrolls.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's gonna be an interesting month. We're gonna have good swims.
Yep, that one. Okay, I'm up for it.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Thanks.
Anyone else want to share? Okay. Everyone good. Okay, beautiful. So, yeah, so go and have fun with this month. So whatever came up for you, like go and play with it, go see what comes up for you. And like really like yeah, like work with the energy of the dragons that we utilize to like kind of pull that like energy into our bodies. Okay, so revisualize that. Like even if you have to come back into the meditation and re-listen, but see like, you know, work with that and see because it's almost like we've unlocked the little keys now. So now it's open. So there's going to be breadcrumbs. There's going to be little messages and things are going to start making sense and you can start weaving it together. So think of this as a little, like literally like opening a doorway into some magic that you have in your, like it was literally the mitochondria of the cells that I saw starting to fizz up. So there's definitely something in that, like deep ancestral connections with it in us that's starting to unfold now and unlock now. So go and see what happens. And obviously, if you have any questions or something, like drop it into the Vortex group because that's why it's there. So if you guys have anything, because other people will chime in, people might say something, people might like share something that makes you go, oh, that connects to that. Like this makes sense to me. So use that as a space where you can communicate with me and with other people about questions that you might have on this. Okay. Awesome. Great. Okay, so the next one is going to be on the 29th of September. It's a Monday night. So if you want to join us then, same place. I'll post it again in the group. We'll be in Zoom again. It will be recorded as well for those of you who can't make it. So yeah, I think that's it. Cool. It was lovely to see you guys. It was so nice to catch up. It was like, I'm so happy. Okay, and for all of those of you who weren't here tonight, we missed you, and then make sure you get to be with us next month. Okay, perfect. Have a good sleep, lots of water, please. Yeah, just let this all slowly integrate. Beautiful. Thank you. See you guys next month.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thanks, Yolandi.
Big pleasure. Bye, Flo.